I'm here today to demonstrate how to put on a face mask and things that you should be aware of when you use a cloth face covering. First of all, whenever you pick up your face mask and handle it by the string and not by the mask itself whenever possible. And on these face masks, many times it's hard to tell what's the inside and what's the outside. So what I did on mine is I put my initial right here. Some people put a smiley face on the outside for everyone to see, but I put a little initial, and that to me lets me know that's the outside. Then I am going to put the mask around my ears, and I try to get it to cover from my chin to my nose without touching the mask when possible. So I may have to adjust it because my mask is a little small, but I'm going to start under my chin, get it up over my nose, and then hook it around my ear. Then I'm going to go do my business and try not to touch my face or to adjust the mask. If you're touching your face to adjust the mask all the time, there is a chance that you could introduce germs to yourself. And do you see how mine's a little high? Well, that's going to touch inside my eyes. So try not to get it too high because that could introduce infection into my eyes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about masks, but I'm going to tell you after I take my mask off so you can hear me better. But once you get home from doing your chores or whatever, you should just take the mask off using the elastic bands and put it right into the laundry. You can launder these as long as they still have their shape. And you should never share your mask with another person. And I'll tell you why. The reason that we're using face cloths is to prevent people who don't know they have the COVID virus because they have no symptoms from passing it on to others. So the virus that might come out and spit when I'm talking, or if I cough, little droplets may go into the air. They get trapped inside of that mask instead of going out into the air. So if I had COVID and I didn't know it, and I laid this mask around the house or somewhere else, and somebody else used it or touched it, I could introduce that to them. So we want to keep people safe from us passing on germs. So we put it right into the laundry. You can wash these, like I said, with normal detergent, and you just try to use the hottest water possible. And then they can go in the dryer and just dry them until they're all the way dry. And that should get rid of any virus because COVID virus is killed with soap and water. So that should do the trick. Now, let's talk about the outside of the mask. The outside of the mask, it may have germs on it. You shouldn't have any, but it just may. It may protect you from someone else's virus. When you're out at the grocery store wearing your mask, you should be fine if you keep 6 feet from any other people, even wearing your mask. But say somebody got closer to that than 6 feet, and maybe they coughed or sneezed and they had COVID, that could get on the outside of your mask. So there's a chance that the inside and outside, or inside or outside, could be infected. So that's why we don't want to leave these laying around. We want to put them straight into the laundry. Say you're like me and you just can't take wearing the face covering the whole time you're out. Maybe you're going to go to the bank and the grocery store and you don't want to wear it in the car. What can you do? Well, you don't want to throw it in your purse because the inside and the outside could be infected. And you don't want to just throw it in your car because same thing, your family might get in the car and you could introduce germs to them. So I recommend you get a paper bag. And if you're not going to be able to immediately launder your face mask, you put it in the bag until you need it again. Okay. Then once it's time to put your mask on again, you take it out of the bag, grabbing only the elastic part, and then you place it on your face. Another thing to remember about wearing your mask is before you put it on, you should wash your hands in case you do have to adjust it. Like I really needed to pull it down from my eyes a little bit. And then after you put it on, because you adjusted it, then wash your hands again. So always wash your hands before and after putting on your mask, and never let anyone share your mask with you. Because like I said, it could have your germs on it. I suppose after you've washed it, it's fine, but it's good to have a mask that only belongs to you, and every family member have a mask of their own. So if you need a cloth face covering, you can let LINC know, and we'll do our best to try and get you a mask. One nice reason to always have your bag with you in case you need to remove your face covering is because it's not recommended that you just push it up over your hair or leave it dangling around your neck. Those aren't clean places for your face covering to be. So that's another reason to have your paper sack with you. And you might be wondering as well, who should wear a mask and who should not wear a mask? Well, never put a cloth face covering or mask on a child younger than the age of 2, or on any adult who couldn't get that mask off if they needed to. So say they've passed out, or they are incapacitated where they can't take that off themselves. Don't put any kind of covering over their face. And lastly, if you're having trouble breathing or you're claustrophobic, the CDC does not recommend that you wear a mask. Christina, just so you know, it's better to turn off the faucet with your elbow or a paper towel so that you don't touch any germs that may be on the faucet.
You want to go back into the restroom, turn on the water, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or 2 happy birthdays, making sure you get in between your fingers, the palm of your hand, and you rinse thoroughly, making sure you do not touch the faucet, but use your elbow instead, and then go ahead and proceed to drying your hands.
That's great, the way you used your elbow to turn off the faucet. Gloves are only recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention if you're a caregiver and actually providing care to the client and you think that you may be touching something that has germs or a virus. Also, the other time that just the general public might want to wear gloves is if you have a cut on your hand where a germ could easily get into your hands. Otherwise, they're not needed because you need to wash your hands before putting on gloves and after taking off gloves. So really, there's no need for the gloves because it's washing your hands that's going to keep you free from germs and viruses. So now Christina is she just washed her hands and put on her gloves, and now she's going to demonstrate how to take the gloves off. Okay.
So the first time I took off my gloves, that was incorrect because I went ahead and touched my gloves, and then with my contaminated hand, I touched my clean hand. So now I'm going to show you the correct way. So with your gloves, go ahead and pinch inside out, and with your other hand, you go underneath the glove and you pull down like this, taking your gloves and then disposing them in the right facility. Right after that, you want to go back into the restroom, turn on the water, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or 2 happy birthdays, making sure you get in between your fingers, the palm of your hand, and you rinse thoroughly, making sure you do not touch the faucet, but use your elbow instead, and then go ahead and proceed to dry in your hands.